Hey, Dons fans, I am with one of my favorite players of all time, Tim Derksen, men's basketball player from Tucson, Arizona. Tim, you came to USF. You came as the Gatorade Player of the Year. You were the shooting guard who scored 1,434 points for USF from 2012 to 16. I think that was ranked 13th overall. You were a member of that 2013-14 team that had that heartbreaking loss in the WCC tourney against BYU. But we made it to the NIT, played LSU. It was a heck of a season for you guys. Then you go on, you play in Spain's Pro League, Slovakian Pro League. You're the MVP of the Swiss Cup. You're part of the Euro League playoff victory in Freiburg, Switzerland. I mean, you have had an incredible professional career. Just kind of tell us, what you've learned and how exciting this journey has been for you.
I've learned a countless, number of things. If I could pinpoint one thing, I would just say how important, relationships are. And that kind of ties back to college, just being at USF. The people that you meet along the way, the teammates that you have, just create this incredible bond that can't be replicated. And I think when I look back to some of the success that I've had individually, that directly correlates to the relationships that I've had with my teammates, and my coaches. And I think that would be true for my time at USF. Is when I had great relationships with my teammates and I had a great relationship with my coaches, it kind of resulted in winning. And some might say, well, the winning is the reason why you had good relationship with the players, but they obviously go hand in hand. So the one thing I learned the most, just traveling to all these different countries, adapting to different cultures, adapting to different lifestyles, you kind of learn how to um, connect with people on different levels. Whether they are from Switzerland, whether they're from Slovakia, and just learning how to communicate with people in a certain way that you kind of learn. Okay, we're all have similar values, similar work ethics, and when you can find ways to connect with people, in whatever that way that might be, you find silver linings, or you become successful in that aspect. So I think that's what's become the greatest thing that I've learned, that I think will apply to whatever I decide to do later in life. Just the ability to communicate and adapt and connect and build relationships with different people.
Well, and your family has always been a big part of that. I remember on senior day seeing those Tim Derksen shirts, the 32, and and it's so awesome. And your dad, I believe, has been at a lot of these professional games. I mean, I think he was at the Euro League playoff victory.
Yeah.
And just kind of talk about that and how special it is that your family gets to experience this, after college experience.
Yeah, it's extremely special just when I look back, because both of my parents were um, public school teachers, inner city school, and we lived a relatively modest lifestyle, middle class, and didn't have the opportunity to take big trips to Europe, or take big trips across the country. And now that I've been able to play, it kind of gives them a reason to be able to go out and kind of splurge and experience those type of things, and give them the opportunity to do that. Now that my dad's retired, he retired when I was going to be a senior in college. So that's when he got to see more games my senior year. And now that I've been able to play overseas, he's got a lot of time on his hands. So he's been able to come out once or twice each year and get to see a lot of those games. And that's a blast for him, just seeing basketball on that kind of level, and that kind of platform. And it's been fun, because just as much fun as it is to watch the games, we're doing a lot of traveling. We're seeing a lot of cities and some incredible places that maybe if I hadn't got the opportunity to play professionally, they never would have seen these places. So I'm lucky enough to have been able to play in a championship and win one. And it was kind of, last year was around June, so that was my Father's Day gift to him, was to fly him out. And I didn't know that we were going to be playing in the championship, but I knew that there was a chance, and it just so happened to work out where he got to be there when we made our run and won it. So that was special. And again, one of those memories that, you're going to have for a long time.
Everywhere that you have played, you have made a huge impact. And I was reading this wonderful article on you, and in it you said, the better you get, you move to higher classification, which is better pay, stronger competition. Just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think every player, when they go into playing overseas, you kind of think, okay, if I go in and put big numbers up and I average a lot of points and I shoot the ball well, my statistics look great, I'm going to move up and I'm going to get paid. And even from, a college standpoint, if my senior year I average 20 points a game and 10 rebounds and 5 assists, that's all that matters. Someone's going to sign me. What I've learned is there's a lot more that goes into it. Obviously, character goes into it, the type of player you are, your work ethic, but more importantly, your ability to win. Are you a winner? In my first year, we didn't win. We lost the majority of our games. I put up good numbers, and I kind of assumed that I was going to get a much better job for a lot more money, but I didn't win. And when the next year I didn't get a better job for more money, I kind of realized, okay, it isn't necessarily just about putting up numbers. Winning was always my main concern, but from the people that I talked to about going and playing overseas, it was like, hey, it's more of a selfish game. You got to go out and get a bucket. And when the game's on the line, the ball's got to be in your hands, and you got to be the one that's willing to take the shot. And so over the course of the years, I kind of learned, okay, you can't be perfect. You can't win every single game, win the championship, score 30 points a game, and shoot 100% from the field. That's not possible. But if your number one focus is on winning, everything else will kind of take care of itself. And you have to develop the right mindset to kind of, accomplish all those little things, and progressively you'll get moved up. And part of that's just being put in the right places, not being put on a too high of a level at the beginning or in the wrong place with the wrong system. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of politics that are involved. But, when you do win, when you do play well, you tend to get better opportunities. And if you take advantage of those opportunities, you're going to get more. And it took a while for me to figure that out. And I wasn't necessarily moving up every single year, getting more money or a lot more money. But, when I did things the right way, and, I played in the right places for the right people with the right teammates, you kind of slowly see a progression. I'm going to work as hard as I can. I'm going to try and get better and do whatever it takes to make my teammates better. And when you do those things, good things are going to happen for you. And they have. I've kind of learned that as the process has gone on. But when you get to those places where you're winning and you're playing well, it obviously becomes a lot more fun.
Yeah, and you were coming to a point where before COVID hit, you still had at least 30 more games left. You were hoping to make another playoff. Your contract was going to expire at the end of the FIBA season, which I think was June. So what were your plans before COVID? Where besides making the playoff, winning, and that kind of thing, where were you hoping to go after that?
It's hard to say. It's impossible to know like what the next phase was going to be. I wasn't sure. I had actually just gotten Italian citizenship, so I assumed that that was going to help me play in certain places, maybe Italy, maybe France. But I was hoping to play in a better country. Italy, France, Germany; those places have some of the best basketball. So I wanted to see if I had have a shot at playing for one of those teams. But it's hard to say. It's just what team's willing to take a chance on you, and I honestly have no idea. But I was just trying to take a step up and play on a better team in a better league, and kind of find where that ceiling's at. I always kind of wanted to get to that point where I was playing against the best competition, or got to the point where someone say, "Hey, this level's a little too high for you," or you're not good enough to play at this level. And then I could have accepted, okay, I found where that breaking point was, or where that ceiling was at in terms of basketball.